Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We see Palantir Technologies and AI stocks included all having a great day, helping to bring up the broader market. We have a lot of details to cover here, especially as Palantir is now holding the 28s, up another 4% on the day, and setting a new 52-week year-to-date high. We're going to be talking about what this means, especially with earnings about a month away, and could we possibly see a breakout here into the near 30s? That's becoming more of a higher probability right before our eyes. We're also going to be talking about, of course, the Fed continuing their testimony against Congress, what they made in terms of remarks regarding interest rates and what they're seeing in terms of inflation, how the market reacted, and we see big AI stocks that are starting to have a lot of buying pressure coming in. The question is, are we seeing institutional FOMO that is starting to take place, especially with Palantir? We're going to be getting into those details here in just a moment. So if you are a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Pop it up on the screen. Palantir Technologies closing at 28.42, doing very well here. One thing that I do like about this push that is continuing and even starting to establish some basically multiple trading days of consolidation here in the high 27s, 28s is we see volume that's actually starting to decrease a little bit. Why I like this is because what this is showing is that Palantir is not necessarily entering in this short-term kind of overbought territory. And one other particular thing is that short volume actually decreased here from the trading day prior. And this shows me that institutional investors, and we're not seeing any big large swings in short positions regarding PLTR, sitting at around 4.52 million right now. And this is incredibly bullish for PLTR, especially correlating with this cup and handle pattern that we've been talking about, that we've been seeing on the weekly charts across the board. The whole interwebs have been talking about this. Breakout here into the 30s. This is getting set up more and more on a daily basis. And this is also following here as AI stocks, they really do launch a breakout across the board, as really Microsoft and NVIDIA are big fuel gainers across the market, leading to a big impact on bringing up the S&P 500. And you have Palantir that is starting to launch its breakout here, rising over 3%, like I said, on this single day, and also posting its 7th straight up week. Now with PLTR, one thing that it did earn itself on is onto July's list of new buys by the best mutual funds. This shows you here that more people are starting to get serious about PLTR. It's remaining in the headlines, and of course we've seen everything that they've done in terms of contract releases from both the government and the commercial side that have came to the public light. And we're seeing other AI stocks that are kind of continuing to fuel this rally across the board. And people talking about that Palantir has crossed this buy point right here after clearing a very early trend line past this 26.57 buy point in this cup and handle. We're starting to see this fuel and this extended run, and why this could go into an extension here, consolidating support above its 21-day exponential moving average, I think is due to the fact that we have earnings now that is probably going to be less than a month away. We don't have the official announcement from Palantir. However, we're guesstimating, what Wall Street is guesstimating is about 8 cents for earnings per share, correlated with a revenue of 652 million. We're going to be talking about here in a second why Palantir stock is up 60% this year, and could it even double before the year is over. Let's take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, MooMoo. Now, MooMoo is your one-stop trading app that offers free commission trading along with very powerful investment tools, making it easier for you to make those confident decisions within the market. Right now, new users can sign up utilizing my welcome bonus down in the description, and you can get up to 8.1% limited time APY on uninvested cash and up to 15 free stocks with a deposit. You also can get up to a $300 transfer in bonus, so you do not want to miss out on those rewards. Make sure you check out MooMoo down in the description. Back to the video. Talking about this article here, where this comes from Yahoo Finance and Motley Fool, talking about the stock is up over 60% here in 2024. It's more than halfway to a double. So the question becomes, could Palantir really double over the entirety of 2024? We've seen strong metrics with its business, with its balance sheet, and overcoming some of the big challenges. And the launch for AIP has been an incredible success variable for PLTR, and that the growth has really been strong. I think nobody can really doubt that. And what we're specifically talking about is one of the biggest criticisms that leads into what investors are talking about, but we're starting to see people, I think, coming to terms with that biggest criticism, and that is its valuation, ladies and gentlemen. We've all talked about this. This is the elephant in the room for PLTR. We know that the valuation is through the roof and that Palantir is very expensive right now. But what are we seeing? We're seeing the momentum that continues. And that's what we talked about in yesterday's video regarding the breakout here. And of course, you're going to have more speculation. You're going to have more risk assessment that needs to be conducted as this gets more speculative and risky in nature, especially as PLTR climbs into this high valuation. But what the majority of the market is predicting right now is that Palantir is going to continue to grow into that valuation. And what this means is that if everybody thinks, and we're starting to see institutional investors jumping on board now, if everybody thinks that Palantir is going to continue to, number one, accumulate in its share price, along with its market capitalization via the expansion of AIP and the further establishment of these governmental contracts, then no wonder why it has a high valuation. And of course, the stock is expensive for its growth, but we're not seeing any slowdown in the momentum. And that's what we're talking about here, especially here with the market. We have the S&P 500 that is still continuing to set record highs. S&P 500 topping here over 5,600. What we see is NASDAQ up over 1% today, S&P up another percent on the day. This is in continuation, and especially here, what we have is AMD being a big force behind the leap right now, and these semiconductor chip companies that are continuing to show robust demand that does not have any signs of cooling down. That's where I'm seeing right now, in my own personal opinion. And what this aligns with is that we have Powell that returns here for the second day of the testimony, talking about and basically reiterating and echoing many of the comments from the day before. We're not seeing a lot of changes, and the market likes this. And this is because he was not really sending any signals about when cuts, are expected to arrive, but he pointed out the dial-in signs of being too late. Hey, this could enter us into a recession. Talking about looking at both sides, but not a ton of additional comments. So the market is still kind of holding that same probability that we're going to have those first interest rate cuts come September. That's sitting around 70 to 80%, depending on the sources that you're looking at. And also, we're still seeing at about a 70, 80% probability that we're going to see about 2 interest rate cuts this year. Now, of course, a big indicator that's going to be released tomorrow, continue on with these market variables, is the CPI data, the expenditures index, talking about what we're going to see with the consumer price, how this is going to have an effect on the market. The Fed does like to use CPI data as a big gauge for inflation. And I think if we continue to see this trend that inflation is cooling, this is only going to further increase the probability that the Fed will make those first interest rate cuts come September. In light of that, what we're seeing on top of the bullish news that has came from not just only PLTR, but also with all the AI stocks, is NVIDIA is continuing to soar. We see them up about another 3% on the day, closing here at 134, nearly 135 in the after hours. Remember, we talked about in the previous videos, we see analysts that are increasing their price targets. We're talking $150. That would be $1,500 before the 10-for-1 stock split. And can NVIDIA sustain this surge as the stock price nears record highs? Like I said, it's not really focusing, personally, what I'm doing is not really just focusing on sustainability right now, but more just embracing the momentum that is behind the AI market. And of course, these things are trading at a high premium. Like I said, there's no doubt behind that. But everybody hopping on board and trying to hop on this rally, this is what I'm talking about in terms of momentum and really valuation kind of being chucked out the window. We see Truist here saying that the earnings growth driven by the sales is basically key to the stock maintaining its outperformance. NVIDIA has continued, along with Palantir, to pose very, very lucrative earnings reports. And I think if we're seeing this, along with, of course, them now making chips once per year instead of every other year, then all these competitors are going to compete to make the best AI chips in the game. In summary here, the AI arms race is, you can see, right in front of our eyes. And with only a year that we've been talking about it, still could be definitely in its infancy. Palantir on the software side, I think, is doing a wonderful job, and I think we're going to continue to see that momentum, especially as earnings is only a month away. We're going to be gearing up on that hype, and we're going to see a lot of trading based off that. What do you guys think down in the comments about all these opinions that I talked about here, what we're seeing with PLTR? Do you think 30s is here in the near future? Peace out, take care, and I'll catch you guys later.